Back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, we're just a stone's throw from the Delaware River. We've got some water to contend with ourselves. A steady rain falling at Lincoln Financial Field. Time to go, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they come in at an early crossroads here, facing a tough opponent on the road where a loss would make them 0-3.
And when you start that way, doubts really start to creep into a locker room, and guys start to battle each other instead of worrying about winning games.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Carson Wentz in his 4th season now out of North Dakota State, ready to bring out this Eagles offense. And he's had to sit and watch Nick Foles under center during Philly's last 2 playoff runs. So health will be a key for Wentz in 2019, no doubt. This is Corey Clement, the third-year back from Wisconsin. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. The numbers for him from a week ago: 11 carries, 76 yards.
And, partner, I thought it was a lot of fun for us to be able to sit in on their film session with the offensive line. We saw how they blocked it up last week to pretty good success, and we see what their game plan is for this week. They expect that defensive front to be someone they can move.
Quickly now, a look at the Eagles' offensive starters.
Two-time All-Pro center Jason Kelsey is one of the most athletic centers in the league. In fact, he went to the University of Cincinnati as a walk-on linebacker before converting to the offensive line. Can pull, trap, get out in front of runners in any situation, and one of the more intelligent centers in the league as well, handling all of their line calls.
Wentz going to try and throw on third. Aguilar has it. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. It's a first down following a gain of 3. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Clement trying to run inside, but nothing there. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. Looking to throw on second down. Wentz. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Trey Flowers just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. From the gun, it's Wentz. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Trey Flowers picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Agnew now to return. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the Lions will take over. So here are the Lions under second-year coach Matt Patricia. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
Type of game that a great quarterback relishes because 0-2 on the road, everything's against him and his team. No one can expect them to win. Sometimes you band together real tight in that situation, and if he plays really well, they've got a chance to get that done.
A run there on first down and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Wentz now to throw. Fighting through, but now he's swallowed up and taken down. Trey Flowers able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. To throw is Wentz. Hurts over the middle. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
So here come the Lions now. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for. Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a 1st down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
They'll run with McKisson. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle. And we look now at the Lions offense.
Often overlooked and almost always underrated, C.J. Anderson has an impact on games that he plays. Very strong up top, has really good balance as well. I've seen him bounce off of tacklers, stay on his feet, and continue to churn out additional gains. Also pretty effective in the passing game as well.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Stafford, now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. Throwing it at traffic there, and that's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Too far downfield, something those linemen have to watch out for, and that time it costs them. Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
Wentz going to throw. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. They'll try and run here with Clement. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Trying to pick it up with Clement. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling. Good spot on the field to go for it, kind of no man's land as they call it, and it worked out.
Yeah, they call it no man's land because your punter is telling you it's too short. I'm just going to punt it into the end zone. Your field goal kicker might give you a little raised eyebrow, might be too far for the field goal, so it gives you a great chance to go for it. Personally, if you have those tendencies to be aggressive as a head coach, you kind of like this spot because it gives you the decision to go ahead and go for it when you want to anyway.
So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
On 3rd down, here comes Clement. And down inside the 15 he goes. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
He'll buy some time right. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds. Big hit.
A first carry now for Wendell Smallwood. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Zach Ertz, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought was...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Nigel Bradham coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
To try again after the sack, Stafford, and he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now third down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Timmy Jernigan with a sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
Now, he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Past the 20. And he is able to take this way down into Detroit territory. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. He had his eyes on the end zone once he hit the secondary, but they're finally able to slow him down.
Yeah, and I've got to look at this one from the defensive point of view. You just mentioned finally able to slow him down. They've got to figure out a way to make that at the point of attack, at the line of scrimmage, because once he gets
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Christian Jones, the one who picked it. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops. Stafford and the Lions now have it first and 10 at their own 11. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on third down. From the gun, here's Stafford. And that is incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over first and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been waiting here. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. And he connects with Ertz. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An Eagle first down there. Wentz to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ. Fifth catch of the game. For him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right, safety valve, throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on second and inches. Now Wentz. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. 20. And all the way down to the 5. So he nearly took it the distance, gets him down inside the 10 for a first and goal.
I'd love to be in his head right now, because is he rewarding himself for a great run, or is he kicking himself because he didn't get all the way to the goal line?
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10. Throwing his Wentz. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Let's see what you got.
Here's Anderson as they begin this series on the ground. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10.
Under 10, 10.
Now Stafford. To the right side and complete to Thomas. And they'll get this 35. A very solid gain of 27. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. Play action. Stafford. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. The Lions into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17.
I can't believe they even let you play.
Anderson. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
Here's McKisson. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points. Able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Flowers able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver where any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
A reminder coming up later tonight. A lot of buzz about this game. The Browns, they've been doing some travel. Back-to-back primetime games for them. Monday night they were in New York. Now the Browns head to Los Angeles to take. Looking for Amendola, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Amendola, the intended receiver.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. They'll run on 1st down. Clement. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. On second down and 4. Wentz looking end zone, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowl tight end Zach Ertz, the intended target, and it's 3rd and 4.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. That's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Back out is Matthew Stafford in the Lions offense. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
It's caught. Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion 1st down. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Malik Jackson, the 6'5" D tackle with a sack. After the sack on 1st down, Stafford looking middle, and it's incomplete. C.J. Anderson, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And he gets this only to the 41, not near enough for the 1st. The Eagles going to take the 1st of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Here's Sam Martin now. He's been terrific so far. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. All right, time for us now to discuss Alshon Jeffrey. 2nd quarter, a guy like him, no catches, so that's the surprising part, but they're winning, so maybe they've been able to do some other things effectively, I guess.
And they found other ways, haven't they? Because the receivers will tell you, offense needs to run through us, but they're managing to get it done in this ball game without having to actually do that. I wouldn't expect them to stay silent for the rest of the game.
Yeah, you got to think that his first catch is coming at some point. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
I got you. I got you.
Working from the gun, Wentz. This complete left side to Aguilar. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. To throw, it's Wentz. Trying to lay one up deep. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Amendola, he was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. They'll get 5 on the dump-off there, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion. And we will skip the highlight show this week, get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. Fielded about a yard deep. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10, right at the 30. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room, where they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
Elliott now to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Here's the Philadelphia defense now as they head back onto the field. And they had the fumble return for a touchdown, and boom, they're right back out there again.
And you hear so many people talk about opportunistic defenses in today's football. Well, they make their own breaks because they work at it all the time. We've been at the practices, the drills where they're trying to script the football, the takeaways. They're always working on it, and it paid off for them on the last possession.
Paid off. Now can they do it again? Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles. Gain some additional yardage.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Stafford. Out left to Anderson. And he'll get it down here to the 43.
That's it, baby.
He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Looking to throw again on second down. Stafford, 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10. Here's Stafford. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. He was looking for his big tight end there, Jesse James. That'll bring up second down. An incomplete pass leads to second and 10 from the 25. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Danny Amendola, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are back within a single score.
Trying to make a comeback often appears daunting, but the only way to get there, start small, score, and worry about getting the next one after that.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that slices the lead down to 17-10. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. It's time for our player spotlight right now as we get a look at Carson Wentz. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? You know, shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much. Not if you intend to win.
I know they'd like to erase that video and those 4 sacks that they've seen so far. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Forced out, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Trey Flowers. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Trey Flowers able to record his 5th sack of the season.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They start the drive with Anderson. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That good for 22 and a first down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now, is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Check.
They'll wind up with 3 yards out of that, and it's second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Here's Anderson. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Malik Jackson there to make the stop. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down. Now it's Stafford. And James has it. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
No room to be had there on the first down run as he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Stafford to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Kenny Galladay, the intended receiver, but it'll be second and goal. You got a young quarterback, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Here's Stafford. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. Stafford now to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a fourth down. Well played.
Prater's kick is good. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
So here are the Eagles to take over. They've got the lead right now, and last week they were able to defeat the Atlanta Falcons here as they try to make it 2 victories in a row. They'll run here with Clement, and he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
They'll run again with Clement. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Romeo Okwara in on the tackle. From the gun on third down, Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The first catch for Jeffrey. Good enough for a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Damon Harrison, the one on the stop. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. To throw is Wentz. There's the first NFL catch for the former Stanford man, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
First and 10 at the 19-yard line.
From the red zone now, Wentz. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked up by Rashaan Melvin. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw, Stafford. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. If you're thinking of a comeback here, you go to 2016. That's when Stafford had an NFL record 8 fourth. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by the linebacker, Nigel Brown. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line.
All right, Brandon. Normally when you hear about guys making 2 interceptions in the game, you're thinking must be a free safety, maybe a corner. How about getting 2 picks out of one of your linebackers? Again, he's just in the right place at the right time. And that's another.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. This game, it's been defensively oriented on both sides, so I guess it stands to reason that the play of the game comes on defense.
So it's my kind of game. You know that.
That's
Anytime we have a defensive battle, but that, as you said, it stands to reason that's the way the game tilted. Someone had to make a big play, and the way the defenses were dominating, that's exactly what we got.
This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Rashaan Melvin. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25.